Guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have another brand new Nanmu figure to take a look at. With the release of their recent Tyrannosaurus Rex, they also have begun releasing model kit versions of their dinosaurs, or at least so far we know for sure we're getting a Raptor, a Spinosaurus, and this, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. You can see this is Tyrannosaurus Rex Alpha 2.0, and this is the unbuilt, unpainted kit type version, which you can very clearly see displayed here on the front of the box. The front of the box does show a nice image with the Nanmu logo, as well as, again, the pieces of our T-Rex that we'll need to assemble. And then if we turn the box around, you have a nice shot here on the back of the box, which shows off the T-Rex and pretty much all of her glory once she is assembled. Almost like your classic old school Nanmu box when it comes to this, with the kind of like, you know, no coloration or anything added, kind of black and white look, which they used to do that, but now they've switched to color boxes. But now I guess these black and white boxes are reserved for these non-colored and unbuilt versions, again the kit versions, and you can see again Alpha up there on the top. So let's pop the box open and check this out. And here is the main body for our T-Rex. We've also got some extra pieces here, well, not extra pieces, parts that go to the model, but it looks like we've got the tongue, the arms, and maybe the dew claws. We've also got the top of the head, as well as the legs, of course, that go with your T-Rex, and the lower jaw here, as well as the base that holds everything, of course, together once we get our Rex assembled. And I will say this is definitely a resin model. It's a resin kit. Everything is definitely a very high quality, very solid feel as far as this model goes, but very obviously resin, which means it can be very fragile. It can be very, you know, easy to break if you bang it into things or drop it. If you drop it, I would imagine it'd probably shatter. But I have been dealing with resin kits for a very long time. I actually love resin kits. This probably looks to be one of the highest quality resin kits I think I've ever acquired, so that's definitely a plus. But what I'm going to do now is actually assemble the T-Rex, and then we'll check it out once it's actually built. So here is the Rex now assembled, and definitely looking cool, but you might notice that the head is missing clearly from our T-Rex, and that is because I have the head here, but I had to actually paint the inside of the mouth prior to assembling the model, because as it turns out, you can see once the mouth is assembled, or once the head is assembled, the mouth is very, very small. Like, you can't really get in there. There's no way I would have been able to paint that. It's not possible. So I went ahead and assembled the inside of the mouth by applying the tongue and everything, and then painting the inside of the mouth as well, which I just wanted to get over and done with so I could assemble the Tyrannosaur here and get the entire thing put together, and I would have never been able to actually, you know, paint this later on. So I did need to paint that straight out of the gate. It's now done. You could see very clearly the inside of the mouth is very nicely detailed. You've got a great tongue sculpt and very nice fine detail in there, but of course you're not really going to see that once it's assembled. But I did want to show off the inside of the mouth there briefly, just to show you that it does look pretty nice, because when we go for our closer look here, you're really not going to be able to see the inside of the mouth. So let me get the head glued on now, and then we'll check it out when it's actually fully put together. So as it turns out, I actually came into a little bit of free time unexpectedly, so rather than waiting to review this and everything once, you know, I had just the head glued on and unpainted, I just went ahead, built it all up, got it painted, so we can now see exactly what it looks like, and it looks awesome once you actually add some paintwork to it. Again, I can't really speak for my paintwork specifically, but I think it looks really good once you add paintwork to it. You can see, again, once you start up at the head sculpt, you have that classic Jurassic Park Tyrannosaurus head sculpt. I think they captured the likeness of it really nicely. Very impressive scale, detail, skin texture. You can see the nostrils up there. Nice detailing within the eye socket as well. I like the fact that the mouth is slightly open, but not open all the way, again giving it more of that maquette-like look, considering the entire dinosaur is in sort of like a stagnant pose. As you move along the back, you can see the spinal column. A lot lot of nice creasing and everything within the skin of the neck of the dinosaur. You can see the osteoderms running down the course of the neck, as well as very nice looking skin texture here as you move along the side of the neck. Nice tensing in the neck as well. You've got all kinds of skin wrinkles and skin folds down here in the lower part of the throat. Moving down, you can see the shoulder blade there. You can also make out the rib cage. Again, super nice looking skin texture on the Rex. You've got the arms in pretty much a naturalistic position for what you see on the Jurassic Park T-Rex. I think they look pretty good. You can see the fingers are also nicely sculpted, nice scoots down the fingers. Another thing you can see right there is we do have that scaling here on the underside of the stomach, which is exactly how you would want to see the scale detail look on the underside of a JP Rex. All kinds of really nice skin wrinkles and stuff as well as you move through. Same deal down here. And then as you lead back up, you've got the hip bone. You also have those nice scoots running over the hip bone. Very nice musculature in the thigh as you lead down. Same deal for the calf as well as the kneecap right there. And then you lead down into the foot sculpt. The foot sculpt absolutely has that classic Jurassic Park T-Rex feel and look to it. You can see the scoots running down the foot there, down into the toes. You can also see the nails have a nice genuine sharp look to them. You can also see the dew claws are present back there. And then you lead back up. You've got a few more creases and stuff back here behind the thigh. As you lead out through the length of the tail, you have a really nice curve, but again, giving it that maquette-like look perfectly because it has that neutral position exactly as you saw when, if you had ever seen any of the, behind-the-scenes footage from Stan Winston Studios and everything of the making of the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, you would have seen the maquettes in that stuff. And this, honestly, in my opinion, replicates the maquette perfectly. So that's kind of the way I went with the paint job. I tried to base it sort of more on the maquette rather than the very dark browns that I've been using a lot on my recent Rexy models that I painted. I tried to make this one a little bit lighter to kind of resemble the maquette a little bit more so than the T-Rex that we see, more so than the animatronic that we see in the film. But you can also see again what the sculpt looks like over here on this side. Again, it's going to look pretty much exactly the same considering it is in a neutral position, but I think it looks absolutely incredible from every angle. I think the only thing on this that maybe I'm a little bit questioning would be the size of the eyes. I feel like the eyes might be maybe a little bit too big, but it may be just slightly too big. I could be wrong about that. Again, I'm definitely no professional when it comes to the appearance of the Jurassic Park T-Rex. That may be a question for like Marco Makes or someone, but again, it is an incredibly beautiful model that I cannot be possibly happier with now actually having it painted up. Absolutely loving the fact that Nanmu are making things like this because, again, we have more on the way with the Spino and the Raptor, and I think they're going to be great as well. And then I also got some paint work on the base. Nothing flashy, nothing incredible, just a nice black tone to kind of polish off the overall visual for this, just switching it up from the grayish tones that we had originally. So let's go ahead, pop this on the base because I haven't actually seen it on the base quite yet, and we'll check it out from there. And there we go, our T-Rex is now standing on the base and definitely looks, again, pretty much like a maquette from Stan Winston Studios, and it looks super, super cool. I will definitely say that. I love the stagnant pose, again, that maquette-style version, similar to what Marco Makes was doing with the JP 30th anniversary, which reminds me I still need to get a hold of quite a few of those models to finish off that collection. But you can see, again, very, very maquette-like when it comes to this very stagnant pose, and I love it. Cannot even begin to express how much I love this. As far as a size goes, for a length on the T-Rex, you're looking at about 14 3/4 inches or around the 37.5 centimeter mark. And then for a height to the back of the neck, just shy of 6 inches or right almost on the dot of about 15 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon, as well as the Collect Day human being next to our Nanmu Alpha 2.0 unactivated version of the Tyrannosaurus. And you can see again, it's got a pretty good size to it. I wouldn't say it's quite as large as your average Nanmu model. I definitely think it's a little bit smaller, at least compared to the recent release of the T-Rex. It seems like it's just a little bit smaller than that. So to actually find out, there is the recently released version of the T-Rex, the kind of When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth version of Alpha 2.0 next to the, unactivated, uncolored version here from Nanmu. And you can see that they are a little bit different in size. Not too far off, but the unactivated, gray version here that we just finished up is definitely a little bit smaller than the newer version of the T-Rex from Nanmu. Again, same deal when it comes to the older Nanmu T-Rex. You can definitely see that one as well is quite a bit larger than this, kit version that we have out currently. So it is a little bit smaller than your average Nanmu T-Rex, but still very nicely sized overall. Definitely sports a very impressive size if you ask me. So this brand new Nanmu Alpha 2.0 Tyrannosaurus Rex, the unactivated gray color version, is a gorgeous Jurassic Park T-Rex. If you are looking for one of the most highly detailed Tyrannosaurs that you have the pleasure of painting up yourself, this is definitely a great way to go. Not to mention if you are looking for a maquette style version of the T-Rex, something that's going to look like it could have been a maquette used in the making of Jurassic Park, this is definitely a great way to go. Like I said, you can really see that Nanmu went above and beyond to create one of the most accurate interpretations of a Jurassic Park Tyrannosaurus that they've ever made. This looks honestly exactly like Rexy, in my opinion, exactly like a maquette from Jurassic Park. They just really did a really good job on the sculpt of this one. But of course, paint apps were done by me. I don't know how great they are. I don't know how terrible they are. You'll have to let me know in the comment section if you think it looks okay. But, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it turned out decent enough. I tried to paint it a little bit differently than I've been painting my Tyrannosaurs recently to give it maybe a slightly lighter variation of brown rather than the really dark variations of brown, which I think the darker browns that I've been giving it kind of resemble what Rexy looks like for the most part in Jurassic Park, but the lighter browns kind of look a little bit closer to the maquette, or at least that's kind of what I was going for. So hopefully at least it looks sort of like the maquette when it comes to the paint apps. But again, the entire thing is really nicely done. I love the stagnant maquette style pose. I love the base that we have underneath, making the Rex stand very nice, very solid, no issues at all. Once it's on that base, it stands really nicely. So if you are interested in grabbing one of these, I will include a link in the description to where you can do that from Lana Time Shop, because that is exactly where I purchased mine. So make sure you check that link, go grab this awesome T-Rex, and also like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.